This is the worst day ever. Are we still lagging? I already did plug the mic back in. Anybody? What's the lag like, Ben? Tell me. Is it improved? Or is it just as bad? There's a bit of lag. There's a bit of lag? A bit better. Oh my God. I'm never going to work in the TV industry. Thank God for that. We're back. We're back. It's improved. Well, if I was nervous before, I think I may have had a stroke during the interval. I'm just sitting here now, waiting for somebody to say, lagging, you're lagging. Tough. As long as you can hear me, that's the main thing. Ben, if you want to call back in, mate, I may have closed Skype. Hold ya. Oh, bollocks. Call back in, Ben. Call back in. Let's get Ben back on the air. Somebody talk to me. You can't remember the number. I'm going to put it back on screen. There it is. Yeah, somebody was commenting. If you put the 0 in and you're not in the UK, don't put the 0 in, basically. Just put +44 121 318 6180. If you're in the UK, then sack the +44 and just go 0121 318 6180. 0121 do one. Yeah, Sean, I think it was my settings, mate. Why can I read the comments now? Holy crap. See, all that stress has fixed my eyesight. I've got a call. It's Ben. Ben.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Because I forgot to plug my headphones in.
Can you hear me?
I can, mate. Can you hear me?
Testing, 1, 2. I can hear you fine, mate. Absolutely perfect. Can everyone else hear on YouTube?
Let's have a look and see what they say.
Can they hear me through YouTube?
Can you hear Ben?
Unless I put YouTube up on my telly in front of me.
We'll wait for a comment. Just make yourself comfortable. Put your feet up. I've got to film my vape pen.
I'm on bed, mate. I'm comfy.
Sweet. Somebody comment. Can you hear Ben?
This is fun.
Yes. We have a comment. Yes. Yay. They can hear you. Welcome to the Disaster Podcast. It's called BeUnited. BeUnited. I felt like we were all in that together. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, that was good. You should call it the Disaster Podcast. Yeah, actually, actually sounds quite good.
I really wanted to call it Trigger Warning, but I
Trigger Warning. Yeah.
But I checked, and somebody else has got a podcast.
I think there's definitely going to be some trigger warnings with the phone-ins for sure. That's going to be fun.
I actually have a graphic prepared for a trigger warning, and people can see it on screen now. It's like flashing over.
Yeah.
But
oh dear.
So yeah.
Welcome
to the podcast.
Yeah, I can see it now. I've got you on the TV in front, so I'm actually I've turned it down though, so I'm not getting any echo in or anything.
Good lad. So you're the first person to call in. I'm actually surprised anybody had the balls to call in. To be honest, you've surprised me.
Well, you know what? Like I said, I spoke to you earlier. You know, we're all in the same boat here. We all watch your videos to get inspiration and to get help and information and that's why we're all here to support each other. And
it's your turn to talk now. That's the
You know, well, I don't really know what to say. I mean, what I was going to say is, just a little bit of history of my anxiety, I guess, and where I am now, where I was, what I'm doing
When did it start,
to
mate?
recover. Um, yeah, where do I start really? So it's been about a year and 4 months now, since I would say I had a bit of a nervous breakdown,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
they call it. I actually work for the ambulance service.
Oh, right, cool.
So at the time, I was actually working in a critical care ward. I was taking time out of the ambulance service. I wanted to pursue going into nursing. So I was working in a critical care ward with people with brain injuries and brain diseases. So it was really, really stressful. There was a lot of at the time I didn't see it. I was just working 14 to 16-hour days,
Hmm.
drinking like 100 cups of coffee a day just to get through.
It's good
Obviously,
for you.
yeah, well, you got to love that caffeine.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, when people's lives are in your hands, there's a lot of responsibility, a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah, of
stress,
course.
and I didn't realise it at first. And then one day, God, I just remember it so clearly. I woke up and I just had these such crazy thoughts going through my head.
Mm.
And this could be a trigger warning to people. So I'm just
Hold
going
you.
to put it out there
Hold you.
before I go on.
Go on.
But the crazy thoughts would be, what if I contaminate somebody?
Yeah, yeah.
What if I touch something and then touch the patient, and I gave them some sort of disease? Am I going to kill them? Am I
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to end up in prison? All that kind of crazy stuff that comes with full blown anxiety. Now I have dealt with anxiety in the past.
I was just gonna
When I
say,
was about 18.
did you have any experience of it, or was it like,
Yeah, I did, and that was more of a panic disorder.
yeah,
So that was an agoraphobia.
hmm
But with medication and help, I actually overcame that. The help that I got back then, I think it was just talking therapy. I don't think it was CBT or anything like that. It was more just a sit down and talk, and
yeah, yeah,
here's a list of things, and I'd carry a bottle of water and a brown paper bag with me, and off you go, kind of thing. And to be honest, I overcame that, and I had about 6 years of, I'm 31 now.
yeah, yeah,
This happened when I was sort of 18. And I had some great years of no anxiety. I was going on holidays. I was, hey, you got your bottle of water? Yeah. Absolutely. I was, what was I saying? I was,
going on
had six
holiday.
years of, yeah, I was doing that. I was doing everything, I've got two kids. I trained in the ambulance service. That was 3 years training to do that. And everything was fine. And obviously there was a lot of stress going on in my life. There was a trigger that I didn't know.
Hmm.
And there we go. That happened. I think alcohol at the time, I didn't drink for years, until I started to recover and I got better again. And I thought, I'll just have a few beers now and again.
Yeah.
No, never been a heavy drinker until last year. I actually went out and just had a full blown, got absolutely
Pissed.
pissed out my face. Yeah, terrible. And I think that was just a release of emotions and everything. And then from there, that's when all the crazy thoughts started happening.
Hmm.
And then the thoughts would morph onto different things as well. Like I couldn't forget certain things.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started doing the research, as you do. Google, Dr. Google. I should know better.
It's
Um,
terrible.
Started to notice some sort of OCD patterns going on there.
Yeah.
So I confronted my doctor, as you do. They gave me antidepressants, and at the time I was in a bad way. I was shaking all the time, all the physical
Yeah, yeah.
sensations you can get. Oh, here you go, have some diazepam as
Hmm.
well.
Hmm.
This was, God, when was this? This was in March of this year. So I started taking the diazepam. Addicted to that, obviously. I didn't, if anyone's taking diazepam now, then, that's great, but
Yeah,
just
yeah. Short term.
let you know that yeah, short term. Do it for 2 weeks. Do not. I mean, I was on it for a few months, and I was
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
it every day, and the side effects of that were horrendous.
Was it just a case
But
of how many were you getting at a time? Were they sort of limiting what they give you?
no, not at all. Oh, no,
Oh,
no, no.
right.
I'll just go back to the doctors and say,
And
oh,
you
I can
just
have another
yeah, yeah,
month's prescription. Yeah, sure, there you go.
easy as that.
Yeah, I mean, they did tell me they did tell me all the side effects and the, what, the contraindications of what's this and this,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
and at the time, to be honest, it was either that or I'm going to go and book myself into a mental hospital because I couldn't take it any longer.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, they probably did do me good short term, but long term, oh my God, yeah, the side effects were horrendous. I mean, they do say they're harder to get off than heroin,
Right.
and that is, well, I mean, I went through some horrible withdrawals. I'm not going to go into it, just in case anyone else is taking them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But just be careful. Try and get yourself off them as soon as you can, because you really don't need them. Yeah. So going forward, I had 20 weeks of CBT with the doctor, with a counsellor.
NHS.
Yeah, NHS.
Yeah.
As it is, that was take me about 6 months to get on the waiting list.
Mm-hmm.
But I got there and I had my 20 weeks. I went every week, no matter how I felt, which was good. It helped. It's not a cure, that's for definite, but it definitely gives you tools to recognise your thought patterns. I mean, most of my symptoms are, psychological symptoms. They're not really physical symptoms.
Yeah.
I do get physical symptoms. Don't get me wrong, but I can kind of deal with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's the thoughts that I struggle with. The sort of crazy thoughts. Although I know they're crazy,
Give me some.
they're just so believable.
Give me some.
What a crazy thought?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh God, I could say, what would happen if I cut off my hand, for instance?
Yeah.
That thought
Crazy,
would just
irrational
pop
shit.
into my head. Yeah, I wouldn't do that, and I know I wouldn't do that. But what if I all of a sudden gouged my eye out?
Yeah, yeah.
I've had these types of thoughts, and they're, oh my God. I mean, as soon as you have that thought, you can feel the adrenaline go through your body.
It's mad that you say it though, because I know exactly what I'm about. I used to have a thing where if I was driving on the motorway or down a road or something, it'd be like, what if I just turn the wheel and just fucking smash off the road? Like, I would never do it.
Absolutely.
But it's just those crazy irrational thoughts.
Absolutely, and then it puts you straight into that physical symptoms almost instantaneously.
Yeah, yeah. Because you tense up.
Yeah, that's right. It's and I think, well, I mean, I am now I take 40 milligrams of citalopram every day.
Yeah.
And I have been now for about 3 months, I'd say. And within the past 2 weeks, they've definitely kicked in now. I can tell my mind is a lot more quieter. My physical sensations are minimal, very minimal. Unlike yourself, though, I've watched a few of your videos where I go and take my partner shopping, and if I'm not having a good day, I'll wear slippers to go driving, so I know I don't have to get out of the car.
I don't wear slippers, I wear flip-flops.
Flip-flop, there you go. And you think to yourself, look, if I wear these, and I don't have to go around the town.
Yeah.
So, which is silly, really, because we both have to face this eventually. There's nothing's going to happen. I've been through this before.
That's the mad thing, man. Is just convincing yourself. Well, I don't know, man. Having the courage to do it or whatever it is. Because I'm pretty bad at the minute.
I think a lot of it's courage and willingness as well, though, to put up to be comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Lately I've been. One thing I've noticed as well is being with nature. Mm-hmm. Actually, generally, I'm quite lucky. I live out in a village. I don't live in a city. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever cope living in a city. But I live out in a village. I've got countryside all around me. I'm quite lucky. I can just go out, walk in the woods, or take my kids out somewhere. Mm-hmm. So I think just even spending half an hour just going for a walk. Not having your phone on you, using social media as soon as you wake up in the morning. All these little things that I've started to notice that can bring on anxiety now. I used to wake up, first thing in the morning would be Twitter. What is all the anxiety forums saying this morning? How is everyone feeling? And that's just,
I've spoke about that with
you
Drew
know,
before, just being consumed with anxiety, just
yeah,
every waking minute. If you're not trying to help yourself, you're trying to help someone else. It just
that's right,
becomes too
absolutely.
much.
Yeah, I'm the same, mate. If I'm having a good day,
Mm.
I will go onto an anxiety forum and I will give encouragement to other people.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though I'm still having the problems, but I will try and if I found something that I feel is working for me, I will try and give that to someone else. A bit like yourself,
Yeah.
you find something, you think, oh, this might work. I'll make a video about this.
I make videos
But
about
you're still,
anything.
yeah, well,
Botox.
yeah, I haven't watched that video yet, but yeah,
What?
that sounded interesting. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. I haven't had time,
I got some
Kids
grief. I got some
after,
grief on Twitter about it. Don't worry about it.
oh, really? Oh, God.
Oh dear.
Yeah, look, I
Oh.
mean, I've tried everything, mate. From supplements, God, I don't know how many bloody supplements I've took. None of them have worked. To rescue
Well, that's
remedies,
it. That's
to
it. Yeah. I think.
everything, and a lot of it, it's all in your head. Well, I know you say it's all in your head. Yeah, we know that, and it is real. We know it's real. It feels real.
Yeah.
It's horrible. You do feel like you're dying. But I think you have to just accept that. A book that I love reading is Dr. Claire Weeks.
Yeah. If you
Obviously
haven't
she's the
already
pioneer.
purchased it, you should. Any of them.
Oh, for sure, yeah, and her explanation of it is acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
You have to accept this, as horrible as it is, as shitty as your life is right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna pass. It's passed for me before. I know people say, "Oh, you can recover for life." I'm not quite sure with that. I think once you've had it, you're susceptible to having it again. But I think if you have the tools in place and you know straight away, whereas this time round for me, it wasn't panic, it was thoughts.
Yeah.
Crazy thoughts. And it was sort of, I did get diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder and OCD. I don't think I do have OCD, to be honest with you. I think it's just the thoughts that they thought it was OCD. But it's just severe anxiety that were giving me the thought. Everyone has probably had them. So now going forward, I'm feeling a lot better. I've cut out caffeine completely now.
Same.
I drink decaf tea. I drink green tea and lemon.
Wait. What's the best brand decaf tea?
To be honest, it's the first lot I've just brought. I used to drink tea all the time, but Tetley's, I think. Tetley's decaf.
Yeah, Tetley's alright, but you've got to try the PG. We're not PG. Sponsored by PG. Although if PG want to send,
to be honest, I'm a Yorkshire tea drinker usually. I love Yorkshire tea. Yeah, but now I just pop into Aldi's and grab the cheap green lemon tea and the jasmine tea and all that kind of crap. But you know what? It's better for you. I've changed my diet.
Yeah.
Now I don't eat. Try not to eat all the processed crap there is out there. Now I try and eat, healthy if I can. Exercise-wise, I go for a walk every day, or at least try to, and get out a little bit. Just try and keep my mind busy. I'm not at work at the moment. I am still scared, to be quite honest, of going back to work just in case I get these thoughts again. But I have to accept that if I do get them again, they'll pass. They're just thoughts. I'm not going to act on them.
Love it.
I know. That's what I have to do. I know that, but I'm like you. It's like
exactly.
I have to just get over that line. I just have to get over that line, and I can't quite do it right now. But I know it's there. I would say I'm 80% there.
It's exactly like doing this podcast, man. I was crapping myself before it went live. Like literally, I was terrified about it. But now I'm sitting here doing it, and it's nowhere near as bad as I expected it was going to be. But that's the same with anything. Not at all. Same with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. My missus keeps saying that to me. Oh, let's go on holiday to the seaside, and I think to myself, Jesus Christ, I can't do it. It's 2 hours drive. I can't do it. But I know deep down that when I get there, it's never going to be as bad as what I actually think it's going to be.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, and it's silly, really. Some of the things that I've had to deal with in the past, and my adrenaline's been pumping. I've been jumping on people's chests trying to resuscitate them, and yet here I am. I can't even sometimes leave my own house now. It's ridiculous, But we'll get there. I'm sure everyone in the chat, if there is anyone still in the chat, I can't see right now,
There's
but
a few viewers.
We'll all get there.
We had more the
we'll
first
get
time
there.
round.
Yeah.
Because,
Well, the more you do this, mate, and the more I'll share it out to people, and you'll get there, man. It's going to be good. It's a good experience for everybody, I
yeah,
think,
definitely. That was the whole principle was just so people can come on and just talk.
Yeah.
Just have a voice, man.
Yeah. That's it. Even if you're having a shit day and you feel terrible and you just want to get your anger out
Even more so
or
if you're having a
whatever.
shit day. That's what I want. I want people
Yeah,
to
yeah,
have a
absolutely.
shit day. Come on the podcast and tell me all about
Yeah.
it. Because people
And
can
you know
relate
what?
to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, today I'm having a reasonably good day.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I probably wouldn't have had the balls to phone up if I was having a shit day.
Yeah.
I mean, but do you know what? When I do have a crap day, and I get this is on every Thursday, isn't it?
Oh, bollocks. Yeah, sorry. Did I just swear?
That's all right.
I did. Shit. Sorry, somebody was calling. I just cancelled the call on screen, but then everybody heard it. Carry on.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll get off in a minute and give someone else a chance
No,
to
it's
talk.
fine. Yeah, every Thursday. That's the plan. Every Thursday. But
Every Thursday, right? Well, do you know what? I'm not going to put it out there, but if next Thursday I'm feeling like shit, I'm going to phone in and I'm going to tell you exactly what's happened in my day and why I feel shit. But sometimes there isn't a reason, is there? Sometimes you just wake up shitty. But
that's it. I've had a few
thank
shit
you
days,
anyway.
mate. That's all right.
Yeah, well, do you know what? We're all here for you. You're here for us. What you're doing is amazing.
We got
I
this,
think
mate. We got this.
You've got this. We've got this. We're a family. We stick together, us guys. We're warriors. I think it's just amazing. I'm glad you're doing it, mate. I'm glad and if you ever want to meet up and have a coffee, not a coffee, actually, I don't drink
I'll
caffeine.
have a decaf tea.
No coffees.
I'll bring my own
We'll
tea
have
bags,
a
mate.
lovely. Well, that's it. We'll have a little green tea together. We'll have a little smoke. We'll chill out if you want. We don't live too far away. Vape. Oh, yeah. I'm a rolly guy, man. I'm a backy guy.
No, I'm on the...
I do need to give that crap up.
Don't tell anybody, but I'm on CBD vape stuff. Like, I use it.
Well, I was on that.
I use it all day, every day.
Remember I spoke to you before about it,
right?
And I actually went to a shop and asked them, and they said, whatever you do, don't smoke CBD through the vape.
Oh.
And I said, why is that? And they said, within it will ruin the coil. Straight away, it will ruin the coil of the vape.
Look. Well, you can't see this
so
because there's a bit of a delay. But all you got to do is stock up, mate. Stock up on your coils. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Universal Credit don't pay for that stuff, mate.
Oh, let's get Theresa May on next week's podcast. I'll give her some shit.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Get Theresa May on PMQs, and we want more Universal Credit to buy our fags, buy our green teas. We don't want to go back to work. We can't leave the bloody house, for Christ's sake. Come on. Anyway, Billy, it's been great talking to you. I'm going to let someone else come on and talk now. And and if you ever want to meet up or just call me, I'm here for you as much as you're here for me, mate. So it's been great.
Are you in the group on Facebook?
No, I don't think so.
So where do I know you
from?
I know your name. Oh, you comment on YouTube videos, don't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I try. To be honest, mate, I try and keep off anxiety forums now.
Don't blame you.
Just for the simple reason of there's never really any recovery stories on there.
Yeah.
It's always people's problems, and that's not particularly a good thing to do if you're suffering with anxiety.
I will just put this out there then, because are you aware of that anxiety guy, Drew? The guy that I spoke at the start.
Yeah, I love Drew. Yeah, I watch Drew as well.
So we made a group on Facebook, and there's none of that crap on there. It's all just positive, mate. So if you did ever want to get on there.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, yeah, sure, yeah.
It's really it's moderated really well. Like, people don't talk about... Like, they can go on and ask about a symptom and that, but it's not just dwelling. We don't allow that shit in there. People get blocked for that. It's just positivity.
Yeah, I mean, I've been on forums before, and to be honest, mate, I've seen people on there that are suicidal and things, and you just think, wow, that is not what I need to see now.
Yeah, I've seen it myself. Yes.
So I try and stay off it, mate. You know what it's like. You go on these things because you want answers, you want reassurance, and it's not there, unfortunately, on those sites. But yeah, I will. I'll definitely join you guys, and I'll talk again, mate, and I'll stay in the video as well, and
I should bloody well think so.
Well, do you know what I mean? I'll put a lot of effort into this.
This call could be costing you thousands.
Yeah, it could be. If I get a bill, you're paying half of this. You know that, don't you?
Look, everybody, you got to donate in the super chat. We need to pay Ben's phone bill.
Yeah, if you could, please. Yeah, it already stands at £50 a month. I don't want any more, thanks.
No. Nice one, mate.
All right, Phil. Take care,
Good to
mate.
talk to
All
you.
right, see
Speak
you
to you
later.
later. Ta-ra, mate.
And you. Ta-da, bye-bye.
Is he gone? Is he gone? He's gone. Oh my days. There's another call coming in and I have no idea who it is. Good evening.
Hi, Billy.
Who's that?
It's Diane.
How are you?
Good.
Good.
Am I on live?
You are indeed. There's no messing about.
Oh my goodness! I'm calling from Maine in the United States.
You need to turn down your
And
TV, Diane, because we can hear it. It's sort of coming back.
Oh, that's your podcast.
Yeah, there's a delay. There's a delay from what we're seeing.
Second. Okay, there.
There you
I
go.
can hear you.
Perfect. How are you?
I got one of those international calling cards just so I could call you and give you support today.
That is very, very kind. I appreciate.
I am friends with Drew. I'm an administrator in another group that he does.
Okay.
And then I started following you. And I just really wanted to call to let you know that for everybody out there, that there really is hope out there.
There certainly is.
And I started having panic attacks when I was 16, quickly developed agoraphobia. I'm old as dirt, so this was back in the 70s. And was not properly diagnosed till the mid-'80s, but had a wonderful doctor who did CBT with me. And so it's very well managed. I work, I do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And so there really is hope. And believe me, I had trouble leaving my house for over 2 years. And then I just had a little radius, like there was a big black hole if I went beyond the 2-mile radius from my house. You know that feeling? Like it was going to happen, like my car was going to descend in the big black hole. So anyhow, I just wanted to give you encouragement. I think it's great that you're doing this.
Thank you very much.
And for everybody out there.
The big question is, were you nervous calling in?
No.
Not at all.
No. This kind of thing does not bother me. But to preface this, even at my worst, I could give a public speech at school or at the university. Which is really bizarre because I couldn't go into a movie theater, but I could speak in front of 200 people.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't it crazy? It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just nuts how we zone in on some things. But no, I wasn't nervous, although, if I find out there's thousands of people that watch this after, I may be nervous, and I'm sure I sound kind of ridiculous. But
no, you're good. So what was it that helped you get past that 2-mile radius?
The exposure.
Yeah, just persistence.
Exposure therapy, just doing it, just the consistency. Drew said that you just have to have the courage. It doesn't come easily. It wasn't easy. I had setbacks or little bumps in the road. I don't like to call them setbacks because I still think we have the skills that we need. And if we start thinking about it, I used to think about, oh my God, I had a panic attack and I didn't accept it and it got out of hand. And what if that happens tomorrow? So the whole stinking thinking stuff. So I just, if I hit a bump in the road. Now, I still will have panic attacks. It just doesn't interfere with my life anymore.
Yeah.
It's just, I just accept it, and it's like having a headache. I don't stay home. I don't get migraines. I don't stay home for, if my toe hurts. So
Yeah. So
kind of like that.
it's not that you've changed or your physiology's changed, it's your mindset's changed
Nope.
to what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, just accepting. And I recently, in my 50s, went back and got my master's in counseling, so I'm actually working as a therapist now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
That's good.
And I do a lot of CBT. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I thought I could be best served doing that. So, anybody can do anything despite this. And I think both you and Drew, I think we can almost become a victim to this.
Yeah, yeah.
The victim mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And I, for a while, when I really didn't know what was going on years ago, I really was a negative Nelly and started getting into, oh, poor me. And,
mm-hmm.
and that doesn't serve anyone well.
No.
It just doesn't. And to get out of that mentality and just realize this is what I have. It's no big deal. It's not going to kill me. And just keep going forward.
It's about the mindset. It's how you approach it. 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, when I saw how much it interfered, I love to snow ski, I love to water ski, I love to travel, and I wasn't doing any of those things. And
missing out.
Just got to the point that it wasn't worth it. So it was almost like, okay, if it's going to kill me, I'd rather have it kill me when I'm trying.
I think we spoke about that in the past, me and Drew on a podcast, saying you've got to reach that point. For some people, you've got to reach that point where it's just enough is enough. It's time to take action. Yeah. Exactly.
And I think anyone can reach that point. Anyone can do it. I mean, if I can do it, anyone can do it.
We can all do it. The proof is in the pudding. There's people. We've spoke to people that have done it, and they've done it through hard work, persistence, bravery.
Exactly.
And just
you've
got to go for it. But you can't do it half-heartedly.
Exactly. No, I had I will say I had a wonderful, he was a psychiatrist actually.
Yeah.
Which now they don't, this was years ago, they actually used to do therapy then, but I remember the first time I met him, he said, you can sit here and talk till you're 92 and blue in the face and it's not going to change. You got to go out and do it. And he kind of gave me a schedule, which at first helped. I just followed the schedule and just for exposure and just kept doing it.
Yeah.
So.
And here we are.
Yeah.
Not
here
nervous.
We are.
Not nervous.
But,
calling in. That's where you end up.
No. That's right. Not nervous calling in. But I really call to just give you support and everybody out there. And I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
And I think I'll have some more minutes for next time, but I want to give other people a chance to talk.
Thank you very much.
Unless you have any questions.
I don't. I'm just the receptionist today. That's my job. Answering the phone and letting you have the floor.
Oh. Okay. Well, I just think it's a great idea, and I think it's very brave of you, and I think, it took a lot of courage for you to do that, so kudos to you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
We will talk again, no doubt.
Okay. We will.
I'll speak to you soon, Diane.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Call. 2 calls. Yeah. We haven't got many viewers, but that's because half of them buggered off after the first live stream ended. So share the stream. Let's get some more people in. If anybody wants to make a call, numbers on screen. I can see people in the comments saying the number's not working in America, but it does. Just take out the 0, basically. The 0 is for the UK. So if you're in the UK, dial 0121 318 6180. And if you're not, dial +44 121 318 6180. There you go. Or use Skype and just add Anxiety United. Is anybody else going to call? Or is that it? Are we done? Are we done here? Call me. Call me. What's happening? Hello, Rosella. Hi, Deborah. Welcome to the stream. We had a few hiccups in the first one. So poor Drew doing his... being the first friggin' caller. I don't know what happened to that. Plenty of comments. It does work. It does work, Diane. Because we just proved it. Because you're in America. And you're called. Anybody else? Come on. Somebody. Anybody. You don't want to have to hear me rabbiting. I've still got like 50 minutes left on the clock. And I will talk for 50 minutes. I had some nice messages off people. It's all gone quiet over there. Anybody? Recovery is possible. There you go. I'm interested to know what the difference between me seeing the comments and the lag on the video is. Or like the delay rather. Because I could be saying stuff on the comments and that could have been ages ago. Did you hear Drew? Yes. Drew was on. Oh, she did hear Drew. Yes. And then I ended the stream through embarrassment. Ended the stream. Got a little bit ratty. Changed a few settings. And it appears that it seems to be working okay. So, the title of the friggin' podcast is The Importance of Speaking Out About Your Mental Health. So, somebody call. Speak out about your mental health. Please? Anybody? Just not a relative. I do not want my relatives phoning. Especially my daughter. She already threatened to. Anybody gonna call? Oh, my creaky chair. Don't make me just sit here. This is gonna be bad. I remember one time. During a war. No. Anybody? Call. A 30-second delay. I'm doing great. Thanks. What's been going on with me lately? It's funny you should ask. Not a fat lot, to be honest. I've been spending way too much time at home. Way too much time. Although I have got quite a bit of work on at the minute. But I'm not getting out anywhere near as much as I should, man. Anywhere near as much. I've been getting like, just a really fuzzy head. I think I described it to myself because I'm the only person that I talk to. But I described it in my own head as like my head felt like it was swimming. And I've heard people say that before. Like, it feels like your head's swimming. It just feels fuzzy. Like weird pressure. Like, I don't know. I'll go and pick my daughter up from school. And then I'll get back to the house, get out of the car, and my head just feels brain fog. There you go. Yeah. That's what it is. And it's horrible. It's not a very nice feeling. And it comes and goes. But I have sinus issues. Have done for ages. And it's not good. It's not good. Somebody freaking phone the number. As I'm going to start calling you. Anybody. I'm going to call somebody out of my phone. Anybody. I'm just going to random Skype somebody. If you're not in the UK, it's 4401. Oh, you knobhead. 44121-318-6180. Yeah, it is depersonalisation, mate. It comes and goes, though. Ben's going to call again. Oh, God. I'm going to have to get a loan out to pay his phone bill. Somebody will call in a minute. Just be brave. the importance of speaking out about your mental health. That's all it is. You're just phoning for a chat. You're not being judged. This is not a helpline. Nobody is judging you. Just, if you want to chat, turn your TV off or turn whatever it is that you're watching this on and just call, and then just pretend you're on the phone. Well, it's not pretending, is it? I was thinking, I remember a time that I spoke out about mental health to my dad, and he was at work. He was a security guard, and me, my missus, and the kids went to see him. My ex-missus, bitch, went to see him, and I went to see him because I was telling him that I had to quit work, man, because I just couldn't cope with my mental health anymore. I put my pen. So we drove to his work, and I went in there and I said, "Look, Dad, can't do it anymore, man. I'm going to have to quit work, and I'm going to have to try and get my head sorted out." And that was the first time really speaking out about my mental health to him, like telling him exactly what it was. But, you know, my kids already knew about it because my lad had seen me have multiple panic attacks, which can't have been pleasant for him, but oh well. He'll get over it. Maybe. And that's about it. But now it's just me. And I'm going to touch some wood. I haven't had a proper panic since I have been on my own. So what does that tell you? Women are freaking stressful. But not all of them. Especially Diane, Deborah, Rosella. Anybody else that's watching. I can't read that comment without my glasses, and I'm not putting them on. Something about skating. But thank you. I'll put my glasses on, man. Let's read the comment. Being there's nobody's freaking phoning. Oh, hello. Anxiety. Forgot out, walk, talk to people. Other skate. Oh my god. Just wake up at night. Like tonight. Oh! You know what that means, don't you? Could be a troll. Hello?
Hello.
Who goes there?
This is Christina.
Christina. I don't know her,
Christina with a Y.
Oh.
Calling from Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow.
Hi.
Nice. What's the
Yeah,
weather
sorry,
like?
I'm hearing feedback.
Yeah, it's because you need to turn
today
your
it's about-
device down.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk away. 82 degrees and sunny.
Oh,
I
man.
keep hearing myself in the background there.
That isn't fair.
It is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm so glad I got through and that it finally worked. I actually stepped away
Right.
for a minute when it wasn't working because my son, they had half a day of school.
Ah.
It's only 2:20 here, so he's like, "Mom, can you drive me and my friends over to the shopping mall?" And I love malls, right?
Oh, of course. Beautiful.
So so he had mentioned that he liked a hoodie that he saw at Tilly's, which is a store. I don't know if you guys have Tilly's there. And
I don't know. I haven't been shopping for
like
years.
Yeah, well, shopping is my big thing. Like, it's everything. It's going into the store. It's waiting in line. You know, it's So I was like, you know what? Let's just run into the store really quick and talk about anxiety. I mean, I was like, oh, God, okay, you're doing this. You're doing this. Everything's going through my head, you know, okay, just float. And I'm like, just go with it, whatever. And so he did some shopping in the store. And I'm like, okay. The second I wanted to leave, I'm like, don't go. Just hang out here.
Yeah.
And I did. And then I kind of felt like this is for people who are, like, I know we heard from Diane, who's, like, recovered, but I'm sort of, like, 70% there, you know. So this is the reality of how it works.
Yeah, yeah.
So I started to feel like a panic attack coming on. And I was like, okay, 45,000 thoughts. Okay, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You can't run. You're not going to run. so I was like, all right, go ahead, just do it. If I'm
Bring
going to
it.
pass out right here, bring it on. And I'll tell you, that totally worked. Like magic. Brought my anxiety level down. And then I had to go stand in line, and I'm like, oh, the lady in front of me was just, of course, everything was an issue. The price wasn't right, and I'm like, oh, God, I'm standing there. And I just kind of distracted myself with, I was like, okay, well, you're doing this, so just hang out, and just distracted myself with the goofy things that are, there to sell to you while you're waiting in line, and that kind of helped, and I was fine. I'm like, okay, just
Awesome.
do it.
There's nothing like that
Yeah.
feeling when you ride it out and you get past it. There's no feeling like that. It's amazing.
Nothing. And I walked out of there and I was like, what else can I do? Where else can I go?
And did you do anything else?
No, because I actually work from home and I had to
Same.
really get back to work. But so I'm still on the clock.
You see, the most important thing now is doing it again. That's the thing. Let's get out there and do it again tomorrow.
Yeah, go to another store. I do have to drop my boys off at football practice tonight, and it's half an hour there and half an hour back, and then and it's those days I always tend to have more anxiety. But it's getting easier. It's getting better. I'm like, all right, you haven't died yet. I can't even tell you how many panic attacks I've had in my entire life, and none of them have ever killed me.
That's a positive. That's a plus.
Yes. And usually I don't run from them.
Yeah.
I've just never really had the skills or the tools on how to walk away, because they do end. I mean, we all know a panic attack ends.
Can't last forever.
But no, but I would always kind of walk out of that situation bummed out, I guess is the best way to put it. Like, okay,
defeated,
and just white knuckling it every single time. And now I know, no, like that's the complete opposite. Of what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, it makes it worse because you feel worse. Whereas if you just ride it out, it will subside.
Yes, yeah. And that feeling of, I guess, being defeated isn't there anymore. Like now it's more of a, oh my God, I did it.
Accomplishment.
Versus defeat. Yeah. Yep. So.
How long have you had issues with anxiety?
Oh God, I have a history.
Yeah.
I'll be 40. My birthday's on Halloween. I'll be 43 on
Spooky.
Wednesday, and yeah, I know. And so when I was about 20, I think I had my first panic attack.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like I did this self-help program that I had found, which brought it to, like, it made me functional, like I never really stopped doing anything. I was in college at the time, and but oh my gosh, and it came and went depending on circumstances. So through the years, it was like, okay, it's always been there. And that's another thing that I've learned, is that recovery doesn't mean that you're never going to have anxiety again. Like that's what I was always hung up on constantly. Like I really thought, what am I not getting? Why am I not figuring this out? What is it? But that's not. And I think Diana, sorry if I got your name wrong. She mentioned she still gets panic attacks.
Yeah.
And it's just like a headache. And I was like, I can relate to that because in the past, I've been there. Yeah. Where I would get a panic attack or anxiety, and it was okay. I don't know what happened. Throughout the years, it's like I said, there were times where I was just really stressed out and exhausted, and it would come back again, But so just a couple months ago, again, I just started feeling cruddy, and I'm like, okay, once and for all, I'm doing this. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm going to get it this time.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I never really knew how I made it go away those other times, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Throughout my life. So I felt like I didn't have control over it, which essentially you don't. But now I have the skills to know, like, just float through it, just let it happen and let it be there. I never knew that before. I must have just sort of done it subconsciously.
It's the same with me,
I guess.
yeah, because I made massive progress years ago, but it was never anything that I really did. Maybe I changed my mindset and didn't even really think about it.
Right, yeah, yep, and now you get it. Now you know how to, because it's going to be there. And I think that scares people, but knowing, like, having been through it and having had anxiety for so long, there were times where it just doesn't bother you. Like, it's there, but it just doesn't bother you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you just move on and do everything, and
just carry on
I think
regardless.
that's important.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But when you're, in the middle of it, that's really hard to grasp and to understand, because you just want it gone.
I think so many people, everybody thinks that they're the only person that has it as bad as they do as well. That's something that, you know what I mean? That's something I always used to think, like, yeah, you say you have palpitations, but I have palpitations,
Yes. Mine are worse.
Yeah, 100%.
You have no idea.
Yep, that's it. You can't relate, but they can, and that's the thing. We're all the same. We're all built the same, pretty much.
Yes.
And we'll all get there.
We most definitely are. Yep. And there really is no danger. There really isn't.
That's the key, isn't it? That's the key. It's just accepting that you're in no danger.
Yes.
As bad as it feels.
No danger.
Nobody ever died from a panic attack.
Nope.
Not that I'm aware of.
Nobody's ever died from a panic attack.
Nope.
No.
Oh, dear. So yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much for calling.
So that's my story.
I was desperate for somebody to call.
Oh my gosh, thanks for taking my call. Oh, I didn't even... I walked away for a second. I was like, oh, somebody else is going to call in and I'll come back.
Nobody was calling. But, I was digging into my memory banks for crap stories that I've probably told on videos elsewhere. Oh, dear.
No, they're not crap. I love watching your videos. You seem so calm all the time. That's the funniest thing. Like, you just always seem calm, right? And people tell me that.
Yeah, yeah. I've had people say it to me, like my brother used to say, like, you'd never know. Looking at you, you would never know that your mind's doing 1,000 miles an hour while you're sitting there. But it's mad.
Yep. Yep.
I don't know.
Yep. So I've started, well, I guess essentially, and I don't mean to take up all the time, but I do like to talk about this topic. And this doesn't make me nervous, by the way.
Good.
Because I'm talking about what I know and what I like.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have to talk in teleconferences and stuff for work, that's when I get nervous. Because I'm like, nobody really wants to hear what I have to say. Like, they don't. You know, they're all twiddling their thumbs just waiting for me to be done. But this, I think, is different.
It's different. Of course it is. People are interested.
Yes. So just recently, because like I said, back in August, it just kind of hit me again, and I was like, all right, I'm going to do everything in my power to finally get to that point of recovery and just figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started telling people. I've never told people that I was married for 11 years, and my ex-husband probably still doesn't know to this day how bad my anxiety was.
Unless he's watching this.
That would be interesting, because I always suspected he had anxiety. But so I started telling people, and I think that's freeing too. Like, there is no shame. There's 100%. No shame in it. People, again, were shocked. They were only shocked because they're like, really? Like,
we'd
you're
never
so
know.
outgoing, and you're so calm, and you're always the voice of reason. And I'm like, okay, so now you realize that I'm having anxiety doesn't make you some weird, like, loner person who's crazy, you know? And people's reactions were amazing.
I was going to
They
say,
they took it like it was. Yeah.
Go on, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, did it
Oh, no,
did
they
it
didn't
change?
even-
Did it change the way that they were around you? Like, did you notice any changes? Were people a bit? I don't know. Were they?
No.
No.
Not
Exactly
at
the
all.
same. That's good. Because I
None.
think that's what people are worried about, is that if you tell somebody, then they're going to be like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to maybe accommodate it? Because that doesn't help, obviously.
Yes. No, they haven't. It was like literally 5 minutes out of their life where I just told them something and they moved on with their life.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're not sitting there dwelling on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I am. You
Yeah.
know, like we think they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're not.
Yeah, yeah.
And they opened up. Like, oh wow, you know, years ago I had really bad depression, or you know, like I just have these anger issues. Like
Mm-hmm.
it helped them to open up to me about their vulnerabilities.
That is a
And I was
perfect,
like,
what
okay.
a perfect piece to today's podcast for you to say that, because that's the whole point of this, is if you wouldn't have told them that you had issues, then they wouldn't have told you that they had issues. You know what I mean? And that's the point, is just sharing experiences and talking to other people, and hopefully it gets somebody somewhere to open up. You know, they don't have to come on this frigging podcast, but if they talk to a friend or whatever, that's the point.
Yes. Yep. And right. And there's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing.
No, of course not.
And I think that's part of the process too. I really do. Like now I see it. It's, if you're not comfortable with yourself the way you are now,
Yeah.
then you're not going to be you are going to be a different person, but not your core personality isn't going to change. Like, so accept yourself now, and if people don't, then F them. You know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying not to curse because we're live.
That's
But
all right.
screw them. Then they're just not worth it.
Exactly. Perfect.
Yeah, I think I chewed up a lot of your time.
Yeah, get off. Go on, bugger off. Go and enjoy the sunshine. That's what you should be doing. It's freezing here in the UK. Well, I say freezing.
Oh my
It's just
gosh.
cold.
How cold?
It's
Well,
not.
I wouldn't
it's
know.
not
You'll
that
tell me
bad.
Celsius, and I won't know.
It was
No.
about. It was about like 8 or 9 earlier, which is probably nothing, but it is for us English wimps. We don't like it. Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for
All
calling.
right.
I expect to hear from you next
Oh my gosh,
Thursday.
thanks for having me.
That's all right.
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
You can be the emergency caller,
Alright.
just in case nobody else does. Oh dear.
Okay. All right.
I'll
Well,
talk to
somebody
you
else
again.
call in after me,
Yeah,
please.
yeah. I'm gonna hound them. Don't worry. Somebody will.
Okay. All right.
Lovely to speak to you. I'll speak to you again.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. It's all good. It's all good. Kate, I see Kate put a comment. Kate should be calling. Up in snowy Canada. I'm glad you caught this too. We've never actually spoken, even though we're friends on Facebook and follow each other on Instagram. Pick up the frickin' phone. 44-121-318-6180. I've got to do the school run in the morning. I have to get up at 7 o'clock. I can't actually see what the time is. 25 to 11 here in the UK. Andrew, yes, we got it fixed, mate. We got it fixed. How does it work? I'll tell you how it works. You pick the phone up, you press some numbers on it, you dial me, I answer it, and you're straight on the live stream. And we talk, and that's about it. Anybody else? Come on. I'd be happy. We've got 31 viewers, which is not like life changing, but we may have changed somebody's life already. Some awesome calls there. 3 callers. I'm trying to remember your names. Ben, Diane, Christina from Phoenix. Arizona. Oh, wow. Your mental health is so bad. You can't even be bothered anymore. Sick of the BS. That is no attitude to have. Come on. You gotta be bothered, mate. Because if you can't be bothered, nobody else can be bothered for you. That's the harsh reality, because you have to do the hard work, my friend. We're here to assist. But you gotta be bothered, mate. Big wide world out there, even though I ain't seen more than 1% of it. You gotta be bothered. Lots to live for. It says there are restrictions. There are no restrictions. There are no restrictions, Andrew. Leave the 0 out, mate, if you're not in the UK. We don't have restrictions. Been doing it for 30 plus years. Nearly 60. Oh, but if you've achieved everything you need to, just chill. Just chill. It is all BS. It's all BS. Just enjoy, mate. Enjoy. Anybody gonna call me? Please. Somebody. I don't want to sit reading comments. It's not working. Kate, how can you say it's not working? Leave out the 0. Please. Thank you, Ben. Leave out the 0. Leave out the 0. I need to make it clearer. For next week, if we do this again, I will leave out the 0. I had to put my glasses on to read something. But to be fair, the system is not working. Sucking away on nicotine and CBD. But it's not for anxiety. It's just because I'm using CBD. Somebody pick up the phone. +44 121 318 6180. Oh, I realised Ben's just said miss the 0 out. Not the end 0. The middle 0. Oh! I was just getting comfy. Hello? Hello?
Is this Billy?
It is. Who's this?
Hey, this is Andrew.
How you doing?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm slowly calming down. We're getting there.
Awesome.
You're the 4th caller. What's on your mind, young man?
Nothing much. I missed most of the show. Earlier you were having technical difficulties, and then I had to work, and then I got back on, saw it was working, and you were trying to get people to call in, so I was like, I don't even know what we're talking about, but I'll call.
We're just talking about the importance of talking, so it's perfect. Talk about what you like, man. Talk about what you like. How did you find Anxiety United? Or me? Was it through Facebook? Was it through the group?
I found you through YouTube. I found you and Drew, like, you click on one of your videos, his videos is suggested, and vice versa.
Right.
Yeah, I've been agoraphobic for 10 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I've always been a very high functioning agoraphobic. I run my own business out of my house.
Same.
You know, I occasionally would get out to like the movies. I live in Las Vegas, so everything is, you know, a stone's throw away.
Yeah.
So
you couldn't have picked a busier place to freaking live.
Oh yeah. Well, luckily it's not like New York or LA where everyone's walking and it's, you know, the streets are super crowded. I live in like the suburbs, so it's a little bit more open, but anything that you could want to do is, within a mile.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've gotten out and about, but a couple months ago I had a really bad panic attack that, I don't know if it was related to the panic attack or not, but I actually passed out.
Oh, right. Okay.
I went and I tried to wake up my wife, and I was like, I'm losing it. I was, level 10, holy crap. And, she got up and, she said, she was trying to put her contacts in, and she heard a loud thud and found me laying in the hallway. And
right.
she came over, my dog is jumping all over me. And, she was like, you passed out. What the hell? And, I immediately, out here, we have doctors that'll come to you. So we had the doctor come out and, said, you're completely fine. You're healthy. You just had a really bad anxiety attack. He said you probably hyperventilated. And,
yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah. And, ever since then, I got put into this like real sensitized state, really just intrusive, dark thoughts, which was completely new to me. I've never dealt with that before. Just, as long as I don't leave my house, I'm fine. But yeah, it got dark, and I spent a month feeling like absolute crap, and I literally thought I was going to kill myself at one point. Like it just got that dark, and it was weird because it was like I want to die, but I'm scared to die.
Was it a fear of that happening again that led you down that path?
I don't know. It's like I couldn't think. It's like, why was I always anxious? I've had big panic attacks before, but they've always been when I'm out. When I went to the store, I did something, and I got home and it was over, it was done. But now it was like, it's taken everything from me, and then somehow it found something new to take away from me. It took away my peace at home, where I felt safe and everything was fine. And the last couple months have just been absolute hell. And, doctors immediately want to put me back on SSRIs, which I, very much like Drew's story. I did that. I'm not doing that again. And, it's just really, really hard. I ended up finding a psychologist who was nice enough to charge me $200 an hour.
That's very kind of him.
And, I maxed out my credit card in 1 week. I met with him every single day, doing like Skype sessions.
Yeah.
And, all he had me doing was like, okay, write down every thought that you're having. And then we're going to go through a list of distortions. And this is how we're going to challenge that thought. We're going to challenge that thought. And he's just constant. It's the same thing we're doing every single day. And I'm like, dude, every single time I try and write this out and I look at what I'm thinking, it scares the hell out of me. And I eventually was just like, you know what? I started thinking, like, what if I just did like giant exposures? What if I just went out and did something super bold? Yeah, flooding, exactly. Maybe that would cure me. And I started looking for that. And you know how YouTube works. You go from one video to the next, which eventually led me to a guy named Wonder Bro, which is where I discovered Claire Weeks. I followed Wonder Bro for a little while, but it just didn't seem like it was as much information. And then that's when I found, I believe, one of the podcasts you did with Drew. And then that's when I started following you, and Drew joined on Drew's Facebook. Yes. And joined on, so I'm on Facebook under Anxiety United and under that anxiety guy. So, but yeah, since then I've been, just trying to just continue living my life as if anxiety wasn't here, trying to learn to float. I started doing exposures, and I'm 3 weeks in, and I'm going to the store every single day. First time I went into a 7-Eleven, it's just a little gas station around the corner from me. I could look over a wall and throw a baseball, and I could hit the damn thing. First time I went there in 4 years by myself, and I was crapping my pants. I was shaking. I don't know if we're allowed to say shitting, but okay, yes, I was shaking. Thank you. Oh, I was terrified. I mean, I remember I was just buying a pack of smokes, and I was like, my hands are shaking. The cashier's looking at me like, dude, are you going through withdrawals? What's going on? And then, I just like, okay, I did it. And I posted it on the Facebook thing, and Drew's like, do it again. And I was like, okay. So I left and I went and did it again. And that's just kind of how it started. So now, again, 3 weeks in, now I go to the same gas station every day. I go to the grocery store, which is just a little bit further down the road. I went and got a new cell phone today, which required me to stand in a Verizon store for about 40 minutes while this guy did everything. And, you know, there was times where I was shitting myself. Sometimes, you know, I was just talking and laughing. And when I got home, I started feeling really derealization. That's one thing that I keep having. Whenever I get done with an exposure and I get home, back before this sensitized, I would come home, like if I was forced to have to go to something or do something, whether I had a panic attack or not, I'd come home and I just felt like, oh, okay, I achieved something. I did something great, and I felt very proud and happy. Now I do an exposure, and it's like I get home, and I feel like I didn't really do it. Like this is a dream, or that didn't really happen.
Yeah.
You ever experienced something like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I remember Drew saying that was the last thing for him, like depersonalization. That was the thing that gave him the most problems when he thought he was over his stuff. But I think I'm going through it now. Depersonalization, like we spoke about it a little earlier. Just the brain fog, just feeling like you're not, I don't know, just don't feel like you're part of anything. Like my own freaking world. It's horrible.
Well, like it's like you're like earlier today, I was just washing my hands and my face. I'm looking at my sink, and it was like something was off about my sink. Like something's different, something's changed. And it's like, what the hell is that about? And anything I feel now, it's just, it's probably anxiety. You know, I had stomach cramps the other day. It's probably actually, you know, eating Taco Bell, but I was just like, it's probably anxiety. Who knows? Yeah. I got the shits. It's probably anxiety. So I just chalk everything up to anxiety. And that's the thing that kind of scares me. It's like, you know, what happens if I'm actually, you know,
day. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, the doctor's like, yeah, you actually had a heart attack and lived through it. You probably should have called 911.
Nah.
Like, oh, I thought it was just anxiety.
Yeah.
But, you know, honestly, though, what you're doing, what Drew does, I mean, the people that are in the group that have stuck around and talked to people, I've gotten answers to my questions. It really is. And this is something that's funny. I mean, I'm 32. I started dealing with this when I was just before I turned 21.
Yeah.
And, you know, the agoraphobia came in when I was around 22. And I've always said for years, it's like one day I'm going to find a way out of this hell, and this is what I want to do. I want to find people that deal with this and help them. And it's like, I don't know, it's always been something that's kind of like uplifted me. Like, no, one day I'll get past this, and I'm going to help others.
Yeah.
Now I'm religious, so I pray a lot. I ask for guidance, and I try not to bring that into the group because I don't want to offend anybody. But I personally look at it as my anxiety got this bad because God, or maybe even myself, just like, you're not doing anything, so you're comfortable being at home. Well, I'm going to take that from you too. Now get out into the world and fix this.
Yeah. Live.
So, and I mean, that's being in these groups, listening to the podcast. I listen to them every day. You know, I have like my favorites that you guys did together, and you know, it's not like a coping mechanism. It's just kind of something that's inspiring. It's like, okay, other people have done this.
Yeah.
I can do this too. And just, you know, sometimes people post some stuff in the group I'm like, okay, that's dark. Like I didn't know depersonalization until someone brought it up, and then all of a sudden now it's all I can think about. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah.
So nobody put something too dark in there. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can I can continue to handle that.
Trigger warning. We need trigger.
Exactly.
So how has your day been today?
Out here. Not bad. I mean, like I said, you know, I've went to the store. I've done my 5 exposures for the day. I try to do at least 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Going different places, doing the same things. I'm pretty sure the cashiers at 7-Eleven think I'm, you know, stalking the place. Like I'm going to come in there one day and shoot it up.
Yeah.
But doing that, you know, just working. It sucks because I read all the time that, you know, the more you want something to go away, the more it's going to be in your life. You have to just learn to live with it. So I feel like I'm getting better at that.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just, obviously I think everybody just wants whatever level that they're feeling their anxiety, you just want it to go away. And it's just like, you know, it's here. And sometimes it brings you down to your knees, but I've gotten better not letting it keep me there for hours and just, you had your 5 minutes, now it's time to get up and let's just go do something. You know, I don't care what happens. I got to get this, you know, I got to get this done, or I got to get this done, or, you know, I've got 4 kids. I can't be falling apart in front of them. I got to, you know, my kids are very little. They all think I'm Superman, and it's like, all right, well, I got to be Superman right now. I'll fall apart when they go to bed.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's perfect. It's good.
How's your day going?
Well, it was all right until I woke up and started thinking about doing this, and then I've just been crapping myself about doing this podcast all day. Literally.
Do you feel like you have like social anxiety, do you feel, or
I do now.
Just talking about anxiety?
No, I've never had a problem talking about it. I don't know why. Always been really open to talking about it. Just weird. But it was just the thought of being live. I don't know. I said earlier it was like standing in the queue of a roller coaster. You just know that it's going to be... You're going to have unpleasant feelings. That's what I was thinking. Maybe nobody's going to call, or maybe I'm going to say the wrong thing, or just be a complete idiot, run out of things to say, or whatever. Just the normal stuff, really.
See, it's funny that you said roller coaster. Something my father used to tell me when I was a kid, because, you know, we used to travel a little bit and go, you know, theme parks and whatnot. And he told me, he said one time, he says, you know what the scariest part of a roller coaster is? And I was like, I don't know, the 200-foot drop. And he goes, it's the line.
Yeah.
He says it's the anticipation. He says it's the waiting in line. He says you wait in line for a half an hour, listen to everyone screaming and all this happening. He says you get on the ride, you're on the ride for 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's it.
And it's over.
And then you're off, and you're like, I want to go again.
Yeah, exactly. So I try to think about that, like when you know, the anticipatory anxiety comes up. I know, okay, I'm going out, and that was what was hard. And there was something that a woman in the group, Jackie, said, the anticipatory was always the hardest part. And she made a really great comment where she said the not going was not an option. Yeah. And I just tell myself, I don't care how scared I am. I'm not going, because the progress I've made, I'm almost afraid to not go out and like skip a day or skip one place that I go, because I'm like, I don't want to lose this. Yeah. And it's just like, no, and it's one of the things you kind of talked about in one of your videos, like you were doing things and you kind of stopped doing it, and then it became hard again. I've experienced that in my life.
Yeah, I do. I'm doing that now. I've been doing that for the past few weeks, but I barely leave the house at the minute. All I do is the school run and put fuel in the car, and that's it. And it's horrible. Because I know, like, I went to the garage the other day, but I went with my dad. The garage is literally 300 yards down the road. But I'm nervous as hell going in the shop. If I haven't done it for a while, it's rough. I'm living proof.
No,
if you don't practice enough, it ain't good.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. You know, couple years ago, I was going to there's a movie theater, again, Las Vegas, everything's right there, but you know, it requires you to go over and overpass traffic lights. I'm sure anyone that's agoraphobic or has a hard time driving, traffic lights are the enemy. You got to pass through like 8 of them on your way there, but it's only like a half a mile away. But you know, I got to the point where I was just like, okay, I was going every weekend, taking the kids, taking my wife, you know. And then after the summertime was over, kids got back to school, and you know, we just stopped going. And then my wife's like, do you want to go to the movies tonight? And it was like, it paralyzed me in fear. I was like, no, I can't. And she was like, what are you talking about? She's like, we went like 12 times this summer. I'm like, I can't do it.
Madness.
So, you know, yeah. And it's, you know,
it's mad how people have different things, like with you just saying like traffic lights, driving to get there and stuff. It's never bothered me. Like, I can literally drive anywhere. It's so weird. But ask me to get out of the car anywhere or walk into a shop or whatever. Like, the car became like an extension of my comfort zone. That's how I always thought of it. Like, I'm comfortable in the car, but get me out of the car.
With me, it's always been like the time and distance. Like, I can't get back fast enough.
Yeah.
Like, whether it was if I'm out by myself, if something happened to my kids, they can't get, you know, I can't get back to them, or I can't, like, if I'm having a panic attack and I'm 10 minutes from home, it's going to be, I'm going to get stuck and I'm going to lose it. I mean, my very first real panic attack that I can remember, at least as an adult, was I got stuck on a really high bridge here in Vegas, and it doesn't go over anything. It just goes over, it's weird. It's just a series of bridges, but I got stuck on this one. It's like really, really tight, and it was just stop and go traffic. I mean, I literally had the car in park, and I thought I was going to die. I had to escape. It's so tight, you can't even open your car door. You're stuck.
Yeah.
And I just remember freaking out, and I called my mother, and I was so embarrassed to say that I think I'm dying on the freeway right now. I just started asking her questions like, oh, so-and-so's birthday's coming up. Well, what are you getting them? And,
trying to distract.
She ended up calling me later. And she called me up later. She's like, what the hell happened to you? I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, I could hear you shaking. And I told her about it, and and then from there I just was like, okay, you know what, I'm not going to use that bridge. And then it became, I'm not going to use that freeway. And then
just restricting.
It took a couple years. Exactly. It took a couple years before I became completely homebound, and the whole time I just kept it a big secret. The only person that knew was at the time my girlfriend, now my wife. And I tried to hide it from my parents, and then it wasn't until years later where okay, now you're just not coming to holidays, you're not coming to birthdays, you're missing out on everything, and you always say you're working and this is happening. And I finally came clean with them, and then my mother tells me, she's like, your grandmother was an agoraphobic for like 15 years. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She goes, yeah. I'm like, well, she died. I wish I could have friggin' talked to her about it, because my mother said that she couldn't go out of the house because she always felt like she was going to throw up, and she was so scared of throwing up. And then one day she said she just got pissed. She remembers she was in the house, and she just yelled and screamed and just said, I'm leaving. And she just got in the car and she started going, and she just forced it away. And I'm like, my entire childhood, I'm like, I've gone on vacation with grandma. I've done things with her. I'm like, I never would have known. But somehow she just, I kind of, she was dealing with this like during, the 70s and the 80s. And I'm thinking, okay, Claire Weeks might have been the only person out there at the time that she may have maybe gotten a hold of the material, or maybe she just figured it out on her own. She just said, I don't care anymore, and I'm out the door. And she never flew. That was one thing she did not do. But other than that, she traveled. She had a great life. So, but yeah, I'm just like, I just don't want to live like this anymore. This is crap. My oldest is 8, and she finally caught on. Okay, something's going on with Dad, and she calls it my worry bug.
Right.
She says, "Oh, Daddy has a worry bug, and that's why Daddy can't go certain places." And my son is 5, and I think he just accepts that. Oh, when we go somewhere, Mom takes us. Dad's the the fun dad at home, but Dad doesn't take us places. So a couple of weeks ago, I made it to his final T-ball game of the season, and he about shit himself when he saw me. Like, "Oh, you're coming?" And I stood there, and it was like the coaches and like all the parents, people I've never met. Apparently, my wife's talking about me to all these people, and they're like, I like walked in, and they're like clapping for me and high fiving me, and I'm like,
feel great, didn't it?
It made me feel great, but at the same time, I'm like, guys, I just drove, a quarter mile, man. Like, made it sound like I just made like this cross country tour, but
that's good though.
I mean, it was something that I just kind of told myself, is like, you know what, no matter what happens, I don't care if this anxiety attack kills me. I don't care if, I'm going to pay for this later and have major panic attacks. I got pictures of me at my son's T-ball game, and no one will ever be able to take that away from me. I'll know that at least one time in my life I saw my son play T-ball. And I mean, like I said, now I'm going to the grocery store. It sucks. It's not easy, but I go, and I make myself go every day, and my wife is loving it. She's just like, "Oh, can you get this? Can you get this?" I'm like, "Thanks for, thanks for adding to my exposure."
Oh, dear.
Yeah, exactly.
It does get
easier. I started taking, I can feel it getting a little bit easier. Like I said, it's a lot easier getting out the door and going. It's the, I still get more of the physical sensations, which I didn't really get that. It was always thoughts with me. I'd get the pounding heart. Sometimes I'd be sweating, but I never got the dizziness, never got the shaking. That's all been within the last couple of months. And I think the fact that, again, that it got so bad, it's just like, okay, it's time to really do something about this, because
Yeah.
like I can't continue on like this. I mean, a couple months ago I was falling down crying. I couldn't watch an action movie. I haven't seen any of the new Avengers movies. I'm like, I can't handle it. It's just too intense.
Yeah.
And then being here in America, I think the rest of the world is kind of laughing at us with our politics and everything.
Mm.
I'm like, I used to love to troll on Facebook, and people, just kind of pick at people, like, screw you. This.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even do that. I can barely go on Facebook. I think I've unfollowed everyone. It's my entire Facebook is, sports and anxiety related.
Yeah.
And, just
Trust me.
slowly picking up the pieces of my life and getting it back into order.
We're not laughing at anybody's politics over here in the UK. It's just as bad over here.
You guys.
Yeah.
So. It would be funnier if it wasn't so sad, but it's like, all right. I got a note today from my daughter's school saying that they passed something in our school district saying now that kids are going to be suspended. Like if my daughter introduces her friend to someone else and said, oh, her name is Sarah, and if that girl doesn't go by her, if she's something else, my daughter can be suspended, or they consider it bullying, and it's zero tolerance, and my daughter will be suspended. I'm like, okay, this is fun, and my wife's all worked up, and she's just like, I'm gonna go down to that school and raise hell, and you're coming with me. I'm like, I'm very well suited to do that right now. Let me go jump into an argument. I'm like,
take your phone, put me on speaker.
Whatever, let it happen.
Yeah.
But well, are you feeling better? I mean, you've been on the air now for a while, talking to a few people.
I'm cool.
At the end of the day, man, and honestly, what you're doing is amazing. Like I said, you, Drew, you guys are helping us so much more than I think you guys really can understand. I think in a way it might be something that might be therapeutic to you or make you feel better.
I've always liked talking about it. Yeah. I mean, the reason that the reason I set up Anxiety United in the first place was because I thought cured. I thought that I was in a much better place. I was going out for dinner, going out shopping and everything. So that was why I first set up the website, and that was because I wanted to help other people. But then about a year into it, it just all went tits up, and I started having panic attacks again. So I was back in the same boat as everybody else, and I haven't really pulled myself out of it, to be honest. So as much as me sitting here doing this for everybody else, it does benefit me as well. 100%. Like knowing that you're not alone, knowing you're not the only person. It's big.
Well, I mean, can you remember when you first really started experiencing this and thinking like, what the hell is wrong with me? And then you actually started hearing. Yeah. And it's even today, like somebody posted something about having a hard time taking showers. I'm like, holy shit, I'm having a hard time taking showers. Like you think everything is so crazy. Unique to you and no one else.
Fears. Yeah. Like eating different foods. That's one for me. Like I have this allergy thing. I'm allergic to anything I haven't tried before. It's ridiculous.
And it's nice because I mean we can all kind of come together and not necessarily compare fears and phobias, but it's just nice knowing okay, someone else is feeling the same exact irrational fear, and it kind of solidifies that it is irrational and that it's really not something to worry about. I mean, I'm trying to be a cheerleader on that forum, and when someone posts something, I'm like, I'm not better yet, but come on, you can do it because I'm out there doing it too.
Exactly.
And it's like we can friggin' do this.
That's it. And
sucks.
We're not selling We're not selling you a program, and we're not selling you something. We're trying to, there's people there that have done it for free.
I would say over the last 10 years, I've probably spent at least $10,000 between doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists, the Linden method, Dr. Barry, whatever the heck his name is.
Barry McDonough.
Yes. Was it Panic Away? I think is his program.
Dare as well. He's got a Dare, but I was gonna try and get him on the podcast. I am gonna try and get these people on the podcast.
Because I was going to say, I haven't seen Dare, but I've seen people talking about it, and it seems like it's really helping people. Panic Away, I read it when I was very early on to it. And it's just, honestly, with that, I would say I just never really put it to practice, not until now.
Yeah.
But the Linden method, there's another guy. It's funny. The anxiety guy, I bought his program, just like, yeah. And the whole thing is, I'm like, well, where's the program? Like, I'm like, there's no phone number to call, no customer assistance. I'm like, where's the program? Cause this is your story. I understand that, but I didn't see like, where's the steps, or what am I supposed to do? Or, and it was kind of disheartening. And, I mean, I don't want to say anything bad about someone I've never met. I don't know if this guy ever did anything. It wasn't until later I found out he's like, I was an agoraphobic for 30 days. I'm like, congratulations, man. Like, come do it for 10 years and, come talk to me. I mean, it's like, 30 days and now you're an expert on it. I was like, I don't know about that, but maybe he did pull himself out of it. Hopefully he did. But, it's just, it's like
good
it's
opinions.
Almost,
I'm saying nothing, but thank you for sharing.
Well, again, I mean, I try not to. I don't want to offend anybody. I mean, I don't
you
really
already have. It's fine.
Oh, there you go. Perfect. But it's if you're out there and you're going to make a living doing this. Okay, for example, I'm a personal trainer. I know I mentioned that I smoke. I'm a horrible personal trainer because I smoke. That's the anxiety. So, but with that, out here in Vegas, I have to advertise. I have to do things. And I run a gym out of my house, which is, really cool. But, I've been doing this for like 8+ years, and, I'm going up against people that are like, insane bodybuilders. They're shredded. They look great. But I've always, my niche in the personal training world, at least here in Las Vegas, is I can put up pictures and be like, okay, this is me at 300 pounds. This is, I was the fat kid that everyone made fun of at school. And I think that has something to do with my anxiety. And, I've been there. I've been the pre-diabetic. I've been sick and, in a horrible spot. And then I changed that. I fixed myself, and I studied this and I learned it, and now I can help others. Whereas if you're just somebody who, you read about agoraphobia, or you read about anxiety in a book, but you've never really experienced it. It's kind of hard to like listen to. It's one of the reasons why I just couldn't work with my old psychologist. I mean, he could not relate to me about anything.
And it's like he knew he read from a textbook.
Exactly. And I've gotten more help. It would have been easier if I had sent you and Drew $1,600 and been like, here,
listen, I can send you my
listen
address.
to your podcast. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm broke like it ain't no joke now. But, oh my goodness. But honestly, no. I mean, you guys putting just your content out there and just talking about it again, even if you and Drew never experienced anything, like, I'm sorry, if Drew never gotten better, or if even though you're in a kind of a relapse right now, but if you had never even gotten to that, initial stage of success, just hearing people talking about it, knowing you're not alone is just a huge help. And the fact that you guys aren't trying to make money from it, it's,
well,
you guys are more genuine.
I get a bit of YouTube revenue, mate. Oh dear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no,
well,
it's never been about making money. Like, it's just people shouldn't have to pay for this. Like over here, we've got the NHS, but the waiting lists are so freaking long, and I don't know. There's lots of stories of people just not benefiting from the CBT. I know CBT is effective, but I think it's not a case of the CBT being wrong. It's the people delivering it, maybe, because again, they've read it from a textbook, and it helps.
And it's really. Yeah, it's yeah. And then sometimes when you tell somebody a dark thought you're having, like that's what was new to me a couple months ago, is I was having these thoughts of like, I hate saying it now, even though I found it's completely normal, but like, you ever have a thought of like, what if I just grab this fork and just like chuck it at this person, or if I just freaking stab this person, or if I just did that. And I would think like, yeah, exactly. Well, depending on who you're thinking of, but I would get these thoughts, and I'm like, why would that happen? I can remember, when I was in high school, like, what if I just drove my car into this guy in front of me and just smashed his car? And it was like, I remember thinking that thought and being like, oh my God, something must be wrong with me.
Yeah.
I don't have these thoughts. And then I started talking to normal people, and they're like, yeah, I have those thoughts all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? They're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, no, I think crazy. Like most of the time I'm just like, well, why the hell did that come from? And I just go on about my day.
Yeah.
But I was like so fixated on it. I'm like, I'm losing it. I'm going crazy. Like normal people don't have thoughts like this. And
apparently
come to find out, everyone has thoughts like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. I just fixate on it.
Yeah.
And once I realized that, those thoughts kind of started to go away, because it was like, okay, I'm not crazy. And if it does pop up, I'm just like, oh yeah, whatever.
Thoughts are just thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. You're responsible for your actions, not for your thoughts.
There you go. Perfect.
So, no.
I still want Kate.
But,
I want Kate
I'm
to call in.
looking forward to you continuing to. What's that?
I said I want Kate.
Someone else calling in?
No, I want Kate to call in. We've been friends for a while. I've never spoke to her before.
Well, then let me hang up with you, and hopefully she's still. Hopefully she's still on.
We've gone overtime already. I was supposed to end this at 11 o'clock. Look, I want overtime. We've gone past 10 minutes.
Oh my God. Oh, damn it! You know how much that would have cost a psychologist?
Yeah, exactly. Bills in the post.
I had to sign over my house. All right. Well, let me hop off with you, and I'll maybe call in like next week or something if it's running slow. I'd like other people to be able to talk to you too. So
I'm sure there will be space to fit you in, young man.
Well, I appreciate it.
Awesome.
So, all right, man. Well, take care. Get some sleep. Thanks for doing this again.
You're welcome, mate. Good to talk to you.
All right, take care.
Speak to you again. Ta-ra, mate.
Okay.
We have another caller. Is this Catherine? Catherine.
We'll take care. Get some sleep.
Hello?
Thanks for doing.
Hello.
Hello?
Talk to me. Is it Kate?
Hi. Okay, so I found one sec. When I have to mute this so it doesn't.
Yeah,
okay.
I don't want to hear it twice.
Yeah.
Hello.
So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I didn't catch the beginning of this either. So I wasn't 100% sure what was going on.
Not a lot, to be honest. It all went haywire at the start. Things were not going well. I was lagging, apparently. So I had to end the stream and then restart it. But it's been all right. It's been good.
Yeah, and it's you've had some people call in, and
I think you're the fifth. I think you're the fifth caller, which is
okay.
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, things have been good. It's nice and cool now here.
Cool, isn't it freezing?
Yeah. It's not freezing yet. It's cool. Like we're still getting nice sun, but it's not, 105 degrees out.
Right.
So,
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. How's anxiety? How's the levels of anxiety?
My anxiety, it's been better. I'd say, I guess, I don't know, should I do like a back story?
You can do whatever you like. We're on overtime.
Okay. Okay. I've had anxiety so I'm 30. I just turned 30. And I've dealt with panic attacks, anxiety, all that probably since I was a teen. And then I was in a car accident like 7 years ago. And after that, oh my God, it was horrible. I couldn't drive for a while. I was having panic attacks driving or even in a car with anyone. And I went to therapy and it was horrible. But I was younger then, and I think
now you're old.
Well, not that I'm old, but I just got my license, and you know what I mean? Like, I just had my first car and all that, so I guess I was more eager to get back into like driving. Everything's newer. And I dealt with it, and things were going well, and I felt like I could deal with my panic attacks if they came up. And then February of 2017, I lost my job. And it wasn't like my fault or anything. It was like a nationwide thing. But it was dealt really poorly. And during that month, my grandfather passed away, and our car broke down for 2 months. Like it was in a month period, I went through just like complete hell. And I just didn't leave the house for a couple months. And I think I was just in a depression. I didn't realize it. And then one day I went to leave the house and I was just completely overwhelmed by panic. And I just thought, well, like, that's weird. And I tried to get in my car and I couldn't drive and I just wanted to get back home. And I kind of stayed in my house for a few months and I just felt it was safe, right? And then I started realizing like, okay, you have to like do something about this. And I'd start to force myself out and I just thought, oh my God, it's like my life is over. I'm agoraphobic. Like I just had these fears. And I just kind of stayed in my little safe zone. And then I found your channel and I found Drew's channel. I started searching like every anxious person does. And I found relief for just like, I don't know, finding people that felt the same as I did. And, that was really nice. But I did realize, I joined the chats and everything, and sometimes it made it worse.
I've said that before.
I felt reading it every day, it was like, it became my life. And it's like, I wanted my life back. I didn't want this new nervous life. So I kind of left some of those groups and I started reading a lot and I started reading more about like the mind and less about anxiety. And that really helped. And I think that's the one thing that's really, really helped me. And I think probably since February of this year, I've gotten a lot better. It's like good. I can drive, I can, you know what I mean? So it's, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that could help some people, is that just
getting too consumed with it. I've said it loads of times. It does. It takes over. Yeah.
And you just kind of start, I guess I just started believing that anxiety was like a thing. Like it was something that happened to me. Like it was something that I don't know how I could explain it, like a disease or something. Like it was something that I caught. Instead of thinking, what I think about it now is that it's just a way of your thinking. I know things can cause it and everything. And like I've been diagnosed with PTSD and, generalized anxiety and everything. But when it comes down to it, I think your thoughts have a lot to do with what's going on and what causes you to feel scared. And knowing that, as simple as that kind of sounds, it's helped me a lot. Because, you could go to like the supermarket one day, or like, let's say you can get in your car one day and feel totally fine. And then another day you can get in your car, at the exact same time of the day and feel super, super nervous.
Definitely.
And it's like, nothing's changed. It's just your thought about it changed. So knowing that's helped me a lot. I don't know if that could help someone.
I'm sure it will. It will. So, what have you been doing today?
Today
Anything
I worked.
Exciting?
Not exciting, just work. That's basically it. Work, cleaned, that kind of stuff.
Boring.
Yes, I'm not the most entertaining person.
Oh dear. Well, it's fine. It's nice to actually talk to you. We've been like chatting on Facebook and Instagram for freaking months.
I know. You know what? It's weird. The Facebook reminder came up today and it said you were friends with Billy for a year now. I'm like, oh my
really?
God, it's been
Jesus
a year.
Christ. No way.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Holy crap.
I know.
So that's it. This took us a year to speak.
Took us a whole year. I know.
It'll be another 50 years before I reach Canada, I reckon.
Well, you're more than welcome.
Thanks.
Come visit anytime.
I'll wait till summer.
Yeah. It's a lot nicer.
Yes.
A lot less snow. So yeah, so I don't know if you have other callers or
I
what's
thought
going on.
it's like it's 20 past 11, and my daughter's just texted me from upstairs saying, "Dad, please, please let me come down and get some chocolate."
Oh,
So I'm probably gonna have to. I'm gonna call it a day. I think I've overrun the
yeah.
time. Yeah. So
Okay.
you're honoured to be the last caller of the day.
Oh, well, thanks for having me. And yeah, get your daughter some chocolate.
Priorities. Oh dear. But it'll be back next Thursday.
Okay.
So yeah, tune in, call up,
Okay.
tell me
I
something
will.
interesting.
Okay, I will. Well, thanks. Yeah, it's nice talking to you.
Yes,
And
very nice. Let's not leave it a year.
I
Another
know,
year.
right? Oh my God. I'll
Yeah, yeah.
see you. I'll see you next October.
Yeah, yeah. Take care, and I will talk to you
Okay.
soon.
Okay, bye,
See
Billy.
you in a bit. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm not taking any more calls, man. That's it, guys. I'm calling it a day. Please, I apologise if you were the person just calling them. Don't be offended. But it's 20 past 11, and I was supposed to go from 9 till 11. But call next week. No, call next week. Please. Oh, fuck me. I'm going to have to answer it quickly. Hello.
Hello,
How you doing?
Billy, my man. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Who's this?
I'm David from Romania.
Ah, listen, I was just about to end the podcast. I was just about to call it a day because it's 20 past 11.
Uh, Here in Romania, it's 1 past 22.
Right, yeah.
Just a second, I'm overlapping.
You missed most of the show. Earlier you were having technical difficulties, and then I had to work, and then
How come I
I
can't
got
hear
back on, I was
myself?
working, and you were.
Jesus. I've just had to mute him. Yeah, but I can hear the video playing in the background. Yeah, cancel the stream. Stop the stream that you're watching. That's He's gone. I'm sorry, dude. I'm ending the podcast quickly before he calls back. Don't tell him I said that. I've got to call it a day, guys. It's nearly 11:30. I've got to get up in the morning and take my daughter to school. So, thank you for watching. And I'm going to do it again next week because it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. And I'll be a little bit more prepared, possibly. But yeah, stick with me. It will get better. I promise. Stick with me. We'll get more views. We'll get more people in. More calls. That's it. I was going to just tell you this. I do have this thing, right? Because everybody knows that I still have issues with anxiety. So if I'm freaking out during the stream, I've got this. So I can switch it just in case I freak out. But that's it, guys and girls. Thank you for tuning in. I'm calling it a day. But yeah, number 1 in the bag. It was a bit of a pilot. We had a few technical difficulties, but we got there in the end, and we know for next time. So hopefully we can then rock and roll. But I'm out. Thank you. I will add you on Skype. I will add anybody on Skype. And I will talk to you all next week. Peace. Thanks for watching. Good to hear from you all. Bye bye.